Hi guys, I'm Rebecca and today we are talking about why you should consider creating a business model canvas, and I'm bringing you along the journey of creating mine as well. So let's get into it. It basically allows you to map out all of the key elements or all of the key things that you need to be thinking about when creating a brand or creating a business, from like the costs of the revenue streams to the key activities that you're going to be doing. And so it allows you to see what you know and then see what gaps you need to fill in as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is add in the heading. I'm just adding in the heading business model canvas. Granted, if you want to change the name to be your brand name or the name of your YouTube channel, you can do that instead. So I'm just adding that there at the top. I'll also say a good idea is to add in your vision statement to the top section as a subheading as well, just so that you can use it as a point of reference when you're filling in the business model canvas. So I'm going ahead and changing my font and the background color. Granted, if you have a brand kit in Canva, you can use those fonts and those colors as well. Next, I'm going to add in the tables. I'm just going to click on elements, search for table, see what table design that I want to work with, and just click on it to add it in. So initially with this table, I'm going to need 5 columns. So what I'm going to do is click on the table and click the plus to add more columns. And then if I click on the 3 dots on the side, I'll be able to delete the rows that we don't need. So we only need 1 row for this first section. So I'm deleting the extra rows. And I'm just going to adjust the size so it takes up a bit more of the graphic as well. So for business model canvas, there's also a bottom section that I need to add in. So I'm just going to copy the table. And then for this section, I'm going to need 1 row and 2 columns. So I'm deleting the extra rows or the extra columns. And I'm adjusting it so that it fits the bottom section of the screen. So once I have the table looking the way that I want it to, I'm just going to select the table, change the background of the table to white. So there's 2 more lines that I just need to add in to make this table outlay complete. So I'm just going on to elements, clicking lines, and I'm adjusting the line so that it fits with the width of the 2nd and the 4th column. And I'm adjusting the size of those to make sure that it's neat as well. So I wanted to add a bit more colour, so I'm just colour coordinating a few of the sections. So the bottom section, we can call that the money section, so I'm making that 1 colour. And then the key partners, key resources section, I'm making it another colour. And then the rest of the graphic is going to have this kind of peachy colour. I've done that so it looks a bit nicer, but also so that it can show us clearly what sections are closely linked together. So I'm just having a bit of a play around with it to get it looking exactly the way that I want it to. And once I've done that with the table, I'm just going to add in an icon or a graphic to make it a bit more girly, a bit more me. And then we're good to go. I'm just going to add in the questions. And once we've done that, we can start filling in. So I'm adding in the questions to this page, and then I'm going to create another page or a duplicate of this page and just use that to fill in or replace the questions with the actual responses. So once you have your template, the first thing that you want to add in is your value proposition. So what value are you going to be adding to the people that are coming to you, whether it's a product or a service that you're selling, whether it's a brand. The key thing about a business model is to add in like short and sweet statements or bullet points instead of adding or typing in like long paragraphs. So keep it short, keep it sweet. What value are you adding to your customers? Me, for example, there's 3 things that I want to do for my YouTube channel. So there's marketing tips that I want to share. There's sewing tips or tutorials that I want to provide to other people, as well as, I guess, adulting tips or productivity routines. So the key word in this section is value. So what value are you providing to the people that you are trying to target? Why should they be buying from you? Why should they be coming to your YouTube channel? So making sure that you're answering that question when filling out this section is really, really important. Once you've added in your value proposition, you've added in 1 or a couple of statements or bullet points around that. The second thing that we want to add in is our customer segments. So what are the different types of customer segments that you're trying to target? I think a key thing here is adding in a statement around it so that it helps you to have kind of like a working definition of who your customer segments are or what that looks like. I think a key thing here is adding in a statement around it so that it helps you to have kind of like a working definition of who your customer segments are or what that looks like. So a key way to see who your target audience is or who's coming to your YouTube channel is to go into analytics and then click on audience. So if I go to what I'm seeing last 28 days and I change that to see lifetime, I'll be able to see the people that have been coming to my channel watching my videos since I've started my YouTube channel. So that's a good indicator of who your customer segments are. So I'm scrolling down to see what information I can find. So I can see top geographies is UK. So maybe you have a YouTube channel where you do reviews on like different places in the UK or restaurants. So that's something that you might want to make sure that this is you're targeting the people that you want to hear. If I'm scrolling down as well, I can also see like the age and gender. So I can see that my YouTube channel is 64% of the people I'm attracting are females. So that's a key indication of who my target audience is as well. And scrolling down, looking at the age, so 24, 25, a big chunk of people on my YouTube channel are between that age gap. So that's going to help me figure out what statement I need to add into my customer segment. So I've created a statement around looking at the analytics and seeing where people are coming from. But I'm also adding bits to map the value proposition that I have to the customer segments as well. So sewing, who am I attracting for sewing? Who am I attracting for marketing? And so on for like the other elements that you have in your value proposition as well. So the next bit that we want to fill in is channels. So how are you going to be reaching people? What channels are you going to use? Granted, it's easy from my perspective in terms of YouTube is a main channel. So that's where I'm trying to get the most value at the moment, building a community here on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe, that being said. Also looking at, okay, so say YouTube is the main thing that you're trying to grow. What is going to help you to build that platform? So for me, that's looking at things like Instagram as well. So seeing how I can post more frequently or target people on there to get them to look at my content on Instagram or look at my reels and say, ooh, I want to find out more about that, and then come onto my YouTube channel. So that's the second thing that I've noted down, and I've also noted down Pinterest because I know that is a great tool for driving website traffic or traffic to another platform as well. I would say for this section, you can, if you want to, add a long list of all the channels where you want to connect with people. But at least from my perspective, in doing like the research that I've done, in looking at people like Erin On Demand, for example, advises that you have maybe 2 or 3 main platforms that you use to try to capture value from people the most. So the content that does well on TikTok is different from the content that will do well on Instagram, and the same for YouTube. So making sure that you have maybe 2 or 3 main platforms that you target instead of trying to grow all of them all at the same time will help make sure that you're growing or doing what you need to do on each of those specific platforms to make sure that you're getting the traction that you want and you're targeting the people that are going to be on those platforms. The next thing is customer relationships. So what type of relationship do you want to have with your customers? So I looked at examples. Some people simply add in like where they're trying to have communication with their customers. So you can take that approach. So if you're creating a business, for example, and you're going to be using a chatbot, or you're going to be using social media such as like Twitter to deal with customer support, you can add that in this section. For me, I wanted to define, so I'm thinking about it, what kind of relationship do I want to have with you guys? What kind of value, or what do I want this YouTube to be about? Like, how do I want people to interact? So I've just added in like the key statements in terms of, I want this to have an honest channel. I want there to be a community that we're building. I want it to be like trustworthy, like you can give me insights, accountability. So adding in the key, either keywords or the key kind of customer relationships in terms of like the emotional value that you want to provide can be added into this section as well. Another thing that you want to add is your key resources. So what resources do you need to make your YouTube channel or to make your brand a success? For me, that requires me to have like video editing software. That requires me to have Canva, which I used as part of this video. And that requires me to have like sewing supplies or fabric for those tutorials as well. So adding in or writing in here the things that you're going to need in terms of key resources and being specific about what you need for that as well. And that will help you as we go to the next step or the step further on, which is in terms of like your cost structure. So breaking down your key resources in terms of the cost of those. Who are your key partners? So who are the people that you can collaborate with? Who are the people that you need to make sure that your brand, your YouTube channel is a success? For me, I've put to be confirmed because I haven't mapped out exactly who I need to be targeting in terms of my the people that I want to be working with to make sure that my YouTube channel grows. But the good thing about having a business model canvas is it allows you to spot those gaps and then revisit them, do your research and fill them in. So at least that way you have a plan that is going to work, that is going to take you forward, and you know you've thought of all of the things that are going to impact on you growing your brand or you growing your YouTube channel. The last two sections are the money sections, if we can call it that. So that's your revenue streams and your cost structure. So in terms of your revenue streams, how are you going to make money? How is your brand, how is your YouTube channel going to make money? For me, that's mainly YouTube ads. We're not monetized yet, but that's going to happen soon. So make sure you subscribe to make it happen as well. And also subscriptions. So in looking at your subscription, I'd also need to look at my key partners to map out, okay, so I have my YouTube ads, have my subscriptions, but who do I want to work with? And then how much do I expect to earn from that as well? And adding it into your key partners, okay, these are the brands that I'm going to work with, and this is how I'm going to earn that revenue. And then your cost structure is the final bit. So mapping out or writing out exactly where are you spending your money. So if you're a travel influencer allocating a budget for monthly, quarterly spends on, this is how much I'm willing to spend to grow my YouTube channel, to grow my brand with this type of content. Or if you create like clothing videos, this is how much I'm going to spend on hauls. And then also looking at, okay, so you have your revenue streams, so subscriptions should hopefully help lessen the amount that you're spending on your own clothes as well. And then looking at costs. So for me, for example, I need to buy clothes, I need to buy fabric, do like different tutorials and stuff like that for thrifting. And then also mapping out, okay, you need to edit your videos. What software are you using? How much is it going to cost? Looking at Canva, if that's an expense for you, writing that down as well, just so you can see how much you're allocating in terms of costs. So you don't feel guilty when you're spending or when you're going on the trip, because you know it's helping serve a bigger purpose for growing your brand. Say if you're a travel influencer, or I don't feel guilty when I'm buying fabric because I know it's going towards growing my YouTube. So looking at that as a holistic thing as well. I'd also say the aim is to make sure that at the end of the day, the revenue streams are exceeding your costs as well. So making sure that you map out in your business model canvas a plan for that. So maybe you're not earning anything with your revenue streams at the moment, but you know what costs you have. So at least that way you can look at your costs and see, this is how much I need to be making, and so this is what I'm going to use, or these are the revenues that I expect to have to pull in this revenue, to pull in this money. And then you'll be able to see, okay, who do I need to work with? Your customer segments, like what type of customers do I need? How many people do I need to be getting traction from to make this work as well? So it helps you to see high level, and then you can work from that and be more specific about your targets and your goals for your brand, for your YouTube channel, or for your business as well. So I forgot to do an outro, so I just want to say really quick, hopefully the tips that I've shared can help you. Let me know in the comments what tips you use or what helps you as it relates to improving your brand. Also, I'll leave a link to where I have this business model canvas so you can create your own as well. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.